So next, we have with us a young and interesting person. He is Dr. Abith Shetty. He's junior resident in community medicine from KEM Hospital. He's the founder and CEO of Jana Vaidya, which is a startup that can be termed as the Ola and OYO of healthcare. He's also co-founder of Arya Bright Care Clinic in Bangalore, and his startup was incubated in Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. With this short intro, I'd like to welcome Dr. Abith to share his journey as an healthcare entrepreneur. Over to you, Dr. Abith.
Thank you, Dr. Chinnu Sara. Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So let me share my screen. So is this visible?
Yes.
Yes. So good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Abith B. Shetty. Right now, I'm founder and CEO of Jana Vaidya. So previously, I had co-founded Arya Bright Care, and right now I'm a community medicine student in KM Hospital. So this is a brief introduction about me, but basically, I would like to tell you one incident, what happened to me. So this is what happened when I was staying in one in a rented place, and one of my neighbor, they had suffered a suicide attempt. Basically, they knew that I was doing home visits, so they called me. It was around 10:30, and they called me. I went to their home. A person, he attempted suicide, but they were very timely enough to save him. So he was still in his, he was still breathing. But when I saw him, I was very much sure that he needs a hospital admission. So the person was already in the second floor where there is no lift, and it is a very narrow passage. It became very much difficult. In fact, at that point of time, what happened is, everybody is very much panicking, and nobody, even if the government has a ambulance number, 108 ambulance number, the people did not, even recognized that number at that particular point. So they were asking me, in fact, whom to call, or we'll call an ambulance from a private person, or a friend of mine might be knowing it. So I particularly insisted them call 108, because I had also worked in 108 before that. So after that, they call 108. There is a kind of a conversation with the person who is there as a middleman. So they will be putting you in conference with the ambulance driver. So this person's, there will be no much of a location sharing or something. It is just based on what is the I can say what is the landmark near your location. Based on that, they'll just come. And in that particular situation, all these emergency situations, it is very much difficult, to wait for so long. And every 5-10 minutes, we'll be thinking, okay, whether the ambulance has arrived at your location. And once you call back again, they will be like, oh no, oh, okay, you called sometime back. Okay, we'll again put you for the conference. It is that way. And I just saw this right in front of my eyes. And after that, when they got down the person, and they were in fact very much confused where to take, which hospital to take. They were just suggesting a hospital which was in fact far away. But that hospital, they were just telling it because maybe they knew that hospital very much. But because their hospital might have marketed itself. But thing is that there were many other hospitals which were even nearby. Since I was aware of that, I even told them that. So the patient was taken to the hospital. In fact, there was much delay in the ambulance arrival also. But however, the patient was taken to the nearby hospital, and he survived after 3 days of ICU admission. So this is what I learned after that is, you know, Doctor home visit, we were already doing it, because in my previous startup in Arya Bright Care, which I started in 2020 June. So in fact, it was a very much difficult step for me, because the what I understood is the first step is much bigger step and a bolder step. And as one book says, particularly it is written by, I guess, Peter Thiel, 0 to 1. He says that courage is the most rarer quality, even than the genius. And in fact, it is all about the courage that we take to start something. And in fact, with that courage, I quit my job. That time I was there in 108. I quit my job, and then I started Arya Bread Care with the two other co-founders. We were there. We were serving even during the COVID times also. And after that, 1 year I was there, and right now I am a co. I mean, I have founded this Jana Vaidya, where we did doctor home visit, and after that we started referring patients to the hospitals also. So right now, whatever we are doing is this. So and one, the main reason for me to start enterprise is because I saw my limitations. Because even if I see as a doctor, if I'm able to see patients, there still I have a limitation of maybe I can see 100, or even 200 patients on a OPD basis. Maybe even if I perform surgery also, there is a lot of limitations. But once if there is a platform or a enterprise that is created where many other doctors like me can work in such platforms, then definitely it is a very much good work and a service that we can give to the society, in fact. So this is what I felt. I saw my limitations, and this awareness gave me a push. And the one more very important thing was that question why I wanted to be an entrepreneur. That was very strong with me. So every time, some of the other things happened, some of the other not favorable things happen, I just come back to this question, and then that question, that the answer for that question keeps me on going. So and my journey as an entrepreneur, I just told you, I co-founded Arya Bread Care with two others in June 2020. Served even during the COVID situations, and founded Janavaidya in 2021. So business opportunities, what I found is, immediately after my MBBS, I was not able to, I did not even take MD community medicine. Immediately after my MBBS, I had 4 years of experience even before joining MD community medicine in GS college. But during that experience, I also studied for 1.5 year for UPSC. And after that, when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I could see that, and I was there in the field. I can see that there is so much of opportunities, but thing is that we have to invest ourselves in that. So as of now, as of that situation, even as of this situation, even though we can see so much of opportunity, but thing is that we can invest right now ourselves in very limited things. So and the business opportunities, I see that there is, the more of problems, the more of solutions definitely are there. And it is much about the once it is in business, if I can say, much about a healthcare entrepreneurship. Whatever we do in healthcare becomes a social enterprise. And even if it is a social enterprise, definitely there is money involved in that. But we have to understand one thing is, it is not, the people are always giving us money not because we are working hard. The people are only giving us money because we are making their lives better some way or the other. Be it ordering a food, or even providing a healthcare service. All these people are giving money because we are somewhere or the other making their lives better. Maybe that is what I have learned. My experiences and my learnings are, I can say, in fact, if I had told much about my experiences, I just wanted to convey more of whatever I have learned through these experiences here. So I have tried to make it little bit of a different slides coming. I feel that enterprise is much like a life. I feel that I see that company is like a life, or whatever we build has a life, because it actually is just a form of legal paper with a set of laws. But the people who are actually running this enterprise are living. So the enterprise definitely has life. So if the enterprise is growing, the people inside has to grow. So it is much like, I can say, the enterprise also, it is giving birth to a child. It is like being an entrepreneur is like being a mother. It's like even giving birth. It is even giving, like, nurturing it whenever it is required. And it is also about hand holding till it is able to learn and walk. So that hand holding phases, and also we'll have to make decisions for it till it is able to make decisions of its own. If you compare that enterprise as a child, then we'll be able to, the mother should be making decisions for the child till the child is able to make decisions of its own. So these things we'll have to do it. And my entrepreneurship journey is more like I can say it is a path of liberation for me also. I am considering this in a very spiritual manner. In fact, it is also like so I am able to give you much examples like now it is also like traveling in a train. Traveling in a train, matlab, if we want to go particularly to one destination, then we have to actually wait in the railway station. So we will be, most of them will be like just planning, but not executing. But time will not wait for us. It's like the train. So we'll have to be in the railway station, we have to execute things. And when time comes, definitely because the timing of doing a particular business is also very important. That is what I feel. Too late to a market or too early to a market is also not good for the business. In fact, right timing is also very good. In fact, we might miss the train, but it is much, people would still prefer rather than going to the railway station much earlier and waiting for the train. It is like that. So much people are ahead of the situation and they will be anticipating the situation. That is what Jack Ma says. You believe in something and you know what is going to happen for the next 10 years, and you believe in that and you execute according to that. So we have to know the destination. Maybe even if we miss the train for that particular destination, we can still go by walk or go by bus or go by any other means. So, but if we do not know the destination itself, we do not know the direction itself, we will be going somewhere or the other. This is what I have learned through this. And in fact, that one situation, one phase where I was suddenly I started preparing for UPS and immediately changed the decision to continue my entrepreneurship journey was this, because I felt that we as youngsters we tend to see for very short term goals, because I wanted to be one particular thing. Okay, for the next, okay, I want to be a UPSC person, I want to be an IAS officer. Okay, what next after? Even if I get first rank, what next? Okay, IAS officer, and then what next? That will be a big question for mark for me. In fact, then when I thought more about like what actually I want to do, and if 40 years down the line, what I actually want to be, and that time I just understood that I am very clear that I want to be a person who is doing something of his own. So that one, when I thought like that, then it was very much easy for me to take that bold step. In fact, because right now it might be very much difficult for me. Right then it was difficult for me, but as time passes, it definitely gets well. In fact, I started doing things what I actually wanted to achieve. Even after, in fact, even if I go into UPS or something, I might be there for 10-15 years. Then I am very much sure that I'm going to quit it and come and do some business of my own, because government jobs like IAS IPS does not allow you to do business when you're doing that. So I was very much clear. I quit that, made that bold decision. In fact, I feel that fear is one thing that is always, even for young entrepreneurs. Many people I have met, many people. Many of my friends, they have a very good idea. They say they have a very good idea. In fact, many people have explained me that they have a very good idea, but it is just about execution. We have to slowly. In fact, I feel that we have to slowly start executing whatever we want to do. In fact, maybe some of the other ways, some of the other time we just may fail, but definitely we are going to learn something from it. It is an investment of time as we are going to learn from it. What I say is always explore, experiment, and execute. This is what I have done. Because I am not a big entrepreneur at all. I'm still learning. I'm learning, and at the same time, I'm trying to guide people, whoever is trying to build something of their own. In fact, I have one of my friend who is also is an artist, and he was particularly planning for something of a business art industry. So basically, I try to help him in some or the other way possible. In fact, my knowledge and skills are still limited, but I'm trying to do it as much as I can. Yes, and also in my journey, I had also dealt with crisis situations like COVID wave. In my first enterprise, that is Arya Bright Care. So that time we had COVID second wave going, and we had almost a very viral situation. Very viral situation since our content had gone viral. So that time we have to taken a lot much of people for jobs. That particular instance. In fact, making quick decisions. I learned making quick decisions. My co-founder taught me a lot of things. I learned along with other people also. I met other administrators. That was a very much. I can say that we were receiving around 900 to 1,000 calls per day that time. In fact, we were working till 11:30, 12 o'clock till the night. And when you keep the mobile phone for charge, when we come back with that time itself, we'll be somewhere having around 300 to 400 missed calls. In fact, that because of a poster which I had designed graphically, that went viral and it went all over India. I can say all over the world. We were receiving night calls from different countries. So I have that experience of dealing with the crisis situations. In fact, a very tiring situation, but we had to do it. And also dealing with content viral situations. Not just in Arya Breadcare. So this is the poster that went viral. Uh, Arya Breadcare car. So this even the designing of this car, I made the designing for this car because I know a little bit of the graphic designing. I do graphic designing with my iPad. So I did the graphic. This is not actual car. In fact, this is an actual car. This is not actual car. The color of this car is gray, but this whatever graphic designing I've done and editing I've done, it actually looks like this. This is a car with a branding on it, but this is a virtual branding that I've done. So I had done this. In fact, this went viral. So much so viral, we had continuous work for the next 1.5 months. In fact, this is one video after I came to Janavaidya. This is the first video that went viral. So this was around 1 minute video, and what I learned is from this. What I learned is, in fact, videos are a very good source of reaching out to people because our industry or our sector is much of awareness building rather than saying it as a marketing. More of awareness building. What I understood is I just told about our services. That is, we are providing this referral side of our services to the patients in Bangalore. And this video went viral, and we received around. This was around I think 7 6 7 months back. And after that, we received around 200 to 50 calls per day after this. And in fact, one thing I would like to tell you what I learned from these situations too. Why the 2 3 situations. This happened. We just received the calls. Yes, done. And this was the second video in Janavaidya. This was the first video, and this is the second video in Janavaidya that again went viral. This is in Kannada, I had said. The same content in a very shorter version, Kannada, I had said. But the transcript was in English. So this also, for the next 1 week, we had the situation where we were receiving 100 to 150 calls. But in the next video, this went all over Karnataka. This video fetched us so much of good name. In fact, we received around 250 to 300 calls per day. But what I learned in this video is I executed something that time. When these two videos went viral, we started receiving calls, but there was not much of execution that I took the next step. But what I did here is in this video, after this video went viral, I took the next step after that. I got more people for that. I got more people for the management. I got more doctors. I got people for individual roles, particularly to take care of particular departments. So that is how I started learning how to become a better leader. And I am still learning to be a better leader. And one thing what I understood was, in fact, we know our limits. In fact, I may not. I am still, a lot of aspirations is there to make Janavaidya is much into Ola of healthcare and Oyo of healthcare, because the Ola of healthcare is for particularly because doctors will be replacing this drivers part. In fact, I have to say very crudely, but it is not as simple as Ola, because there is a lot of other health data also we have to maintain. So this will be particularly like that. They can call doctors directly to their homes, and the nearby doctor would attend them. And also OYO of healthcare, because in OYO what we do is we book hotels, but here what the patients do is they book the beds of the hospitals. We give all the information to the patients, which is required for better decision making. Because right now in that, as far the market research we have done, there are few platforms who are providing this kind of a service where they give a particular information about the cost of one particular service generally. But what we have understood is we have to give more of a information to this patient, and that information is very much necessary for them. It is much like, in fact, that one particular thing got reiterated here in St. GS Medical College also. The people come to GOPD first, and from GOPD they get referred to different sections. So that got fit very much well with our doctor home visit, because from there itself we started with this referral services, which was because of the patient. Because when the doctors went, there were some emergency situation and the patients were needed to be referred. Right now we are doing this for entire Karnataka. In fact, anybody from Karnataka, they can call us. We'll be providing them the information of the nearby hospitals, along with the information of the insurances that is applicable in that hospitals, and the cost of the particular procedures of whatever they want to have there, and in fact the bed charges also. So all this information we are providing right now. What I understood is again, to be an all-time student and to be an all-time teacher, to learn much of things and then teach it to my teammates, and learn along with them. In fact, what I can say is this is much like a sustainable growth. What happens is, in an enterprise, the practical situations, we tend to give much of our skills and our knowledge to all our immediate teammates who are the second line of leaders. That time one particular situation comes where they, some business owners, they say that you should not tell them everything. In fact, they would know the secrets of your business and then leave. uh, in fact, there are many other business consultants who be having answers for this. What I particularly feel is my approach to this is very much different. In fact, we have to teach everything to some person, or a person whom we have to actually give responsibilities. Basically, if I have to give responsibilities to one particular person, I have to give him each and every education what is necessary for that person to manage that responsibility, to take that responsibility. In fact, we can definitely divide responsibilities, but to be that teacher, and also to be that student, all-time student, is very much important. That this is the emphasis of this entire thing, I can say. uh, and to much be about collaborating rather than competing, because there are situations we still have phone calls from different other home healthcare service providers who also do doctor home visits. uh, but once they call, it is much about not kind of a competing tone, but it is much about a collaborating tone. Always, in fact, we have collaborated. We took this initial step from our side for some of the healthcare services. Some of them have called, they made the call for us for these collaborations. Yes, but what I feel is, it is much about, not much about, when it comes to healthcare particularly, it is not much about, who makes the much revenue of this one particular stream, but to provide the best services and to provide the services on time. That is what I feel, because as what I listened to a TEDx speaker. In fact, I don't remember his name. What he says is, we actually need to have a multiple sources of income, because if there is a particular single source of income, there is always trying to exploit the other person who might be your client, because to increase the revenue for you, increase the amount, money for you, that might happen. So to avoid that, it is always much better to have multiple sources of income. So in fact, this particular topic comes because when it comes to collaboration and competition, we think that, okay, collaboration, maybe our revenue somewhere it gets hit because of collaborating, rather than competing or somewhere like that. But definitely in the long run, it is much better for us. It is much better for the patients. It is much better for a healthy competition in the market also. That is what I feel, because once we compete, what happens is, there is one particular theory where similar service providers in a particular industry, if they are making one particular thing, then the other startup or the other company would also do the similar thing. And in the meantime, both of these startups would be similar to each other. They'll be very much similar in the meantime, because they are trying to do what, each other, what the other people are doing. This is a theory, regarding the competition. So I'm able to give this particular thing because I have a little bit of experience. I mean, experience in entrepreneurship, and a little bit of knowledge about social entrepreneurship, because I had done a course in TIS Mumbai also. So that helped me a little bit. And it is much like a army what we have to build in our team, because it is not like family, what I feel. Families are definitely different, but it is what we have to do is build an army in our team. Army, because definitely there is a hierarchy for the army, and once a person is injured, or once a person is has a bullet coming to hit his chest, the other person even gives his chest to save the other person. In fact, family members don't do that. We have much more brotherhood in the army rather than in families, so that we have to build a team like an army rather than families. This is what I say to my team. And the only right reason to be an entrepreneur is to change the world. This is said by Phil Libin. He is the co-founder of Evernote. So this is the note-taking app. So he says the only right reason. In fact, this is what is keeping me still going, because if I have to tell, there is lot much of hurdles. There is lot much of challenges that we have to face. In fact, one particular point, we in fact think there is a big question mark why I am still doing this. And once that question comes, I'll revisit this question, why I actually have to do this. Because challenges, right now, as a startup, we have different kind of challenges. Maybe for this phase we feel it is big, but once the startup grows, we will be having a different kind of a challenges. The challenges that we had when the initiation, or the incorporation of the startup, are not the challenges that we are having now. In fact, these challenges we are having right now is definitely not going to be there in the next few years, or those challenges are going to be much bigger phase. And but thing is that we have to find more of a solutions for this. And it is much about minding our ego. Because one very much realization about my ego that happened with my startup journey is, in fact, we would be thinking much about a particular kind of idea where we have to execute and think that this is going to work. And we will be very much in love with the idea. We are very much in clinging to this idea particular. But once we put that into market, that might not work. In fact, that might work in a much better way if we had already done some research before it. But if we have not, in fact, even after a lot of research, the way people would be taking it would be a much different, because in practicality, in experience, things would still can go in a different stage than expected. So what I understood is, we have to actually decrease our ego in these things. Clinging to one particular business idea or to a business model might not be revenue generating, but if you are too much of a egoistic person and sticking on to the same idea, which is not a viable idea, then we'll have to decrease our ego and understand the situation, and then make minor changes where actually which can actually make your business sustainable. But still we can still, that is what is all about, understanding that the railway station and the travel I said about, if we knew our directions, if we knew our destinations much priorly, and we are very much sure about it, even if we miss the train, we can still go by other means of travel. And even we even visit other places also in the meanwhile. We can take little bit of a turn and still go watch some beautiful place, and then still go to this final destination also. So this is much about that. In fact, we have to understand what the people need in this society. In fact, if I have to talk like a business and what actually is required in the market, so we have to understand that. In fact, rather than pushing on to our business ideas or our business plans, which may not actually work in reality, So this is my biggest realization in this. Decrease the ego, because this ego is one thing that is going to hinder us, or it is a hurdle for us to learn and grow. The more the ego, the less is the learning. The more the ego, in fact, we are not able to bend to a mucher extent. So that is not able to help us in growing also. And the challenges, yes, the bigger challenge is about awareness and marketing. So because our healthcare enterprises, once we more of marketing, we definitely cannot do marketing like hotels or cloth shops. We have to do marketing in a very much different way. So we have to do much about awareness. So we have to definitely, since ours is a service, we have the sorry. So the what I can say, the penetration of videos is much better for services. Because right now blogs, the people who read blogs are comparatively lesser than the people who watch videos, particularly short videos, to get some information. So in fact, I can say that I definitely know. In fact, this happened to me where we went to a particular park in Bangalore, and then from there I wanted to go to I mean, I along with my friends, we wanted to go to a nearby chat place. What we did is we did not search Google. We searched YouTube. We searched YouTube to see who is a better person who can do chats here. So this has become the era now. In fact, we want somebody to say, be on there online, be on social media particularly, because one thing what I understood is, even if we had spent lakhs together in that 1.5 year for Google or Facebook or Instagram, that one particular viral video had got us even more calls that we actually had received from spending that much money. All this was free marketing. We had given the right information, and also at the same time we provided that service. And right now whatever we are doing is because of the word of mouth marketing, that I can say. All those videos that I had shared that time, and even those people who had received the services, they are still sharing those videos. We are still receiving calls, and we are telling them, what, from where did you, we still ask them, from where did you get our contact? They'll be like, we particularly saw your video on YouTube, or we got it on WhatsApp. So this is kind of a very much a reiteration for us that social media actually works and helps for us. Right now we started giving much of a health related information through the social media. Mm, and one more thing is a challenge is about fear and courage. If we had to actually take one particular step, one particular decision, or in fact start something of our own, be it, start with the enterprise, or take a quick and immediate decision for the enterprise. That much thing is about fear and whether what will happen next. So if it is much good for the entire company, and if it is not harming anyone, and if it is still legal, we can we can do it with courage, because we might lose at the end, we might still lose some money maybe, or lose some time, but the learning is still great. Thing is that that what fantasizes me still here is that learning is still great here. It is a lot of learning. Maybe the I am into entrepreneurship since 2.5 3 years right now, and maybe in another 10 years I will be having around 13 years of experience. Some of my friends even ask when is the right time to start. I tell them as soon as possible. Uh, so because we would be having much better experiences then. So right now, as
Dr.
Janaved,
Abid, Dr.
yes,
Abid, kindly try to fasten.
yes,
We
I
have.
have just this is the last slide.
Thank
So
you.
this is the services provided by Janaved right now. We do teleconsultations. We are providing local hospital information to patients and nearby referring them to nearby hospitals, and also even coordinating for the process. We refer them to the nearby hospitals, and also coordinate for the complete process. We even book them the ambulance. We provide them the information of the the bed charges, the fees, and also the what whether the insurance whether that they have is applicable. In fact, we see that many hospitals say that they are multi-speciality hospitals, but it doesn't mean that all the hospitals provide all the services in them. All the specialities are there. It only means that it is having more than 2 specialities. So we have to actually give them the particular, patients particular information, whether a cardiology department is there in that particular hospital, or where exactly is cardiology department near your location. So these kind of informations we give after the teleconsultations, along with the teleconsultations. So and also if they want home health services in their local areas, we are also doing that. This is happening all over Karnataka, and also doctor home visit, particularly in Bangalore and Mumbai. We are doing. Yes, and this is all about it. I made my PPT a little bit different, and try to give my info. I try to say whatever I had learned through my journey. And thank you very much, Dr. Chinu Sara, and the entire HeDaL team, and even Dr. Karthik. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm very much overwhelmed to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abith, for such a candid talk. It was very interesting listening and learning from you. That too, at a younger age, you have gained a lot of entrepreneurship experience. Very interesting to learn from you. Thank you, Dr. Abith.